Hello and welcome to Amjad Academy. Today I will discuss next point in your chapter is optical isomerism in glucose. So before going towards optical isomerism, we should know what is isomerism first. So for this, we'll go in your 11th class. In your 11th class, we have already studied what is isomerism. So what is isomerism? Two or more compounds having same molecular formula. Same molecular formula. Same molecular formula. If two compounds are having same molecular formula, they are said to be isomers of each other. This isomerism is further classified into two bigger classes. One is structural isomerism. Structural isomerism. Structural isomerism. And the second one is stereoisomerism. Stereoisomerism. So what is structural isomerism? Compounds having same molecular formula but different structural formula. Same molecular formula but different structural formula are said to be structural isomers of each other, and this phenomena is known as structural isomerism. Now look towards stereoisomerism. This word stereo means space. Arrangement of atom around the molecule is different in a space. Different arrangement of atom or group of atom in a space are said to be stereoisomerism. So what will be the definition? Compounds having same molecular formula and also they will also have same structural formula, but their arrangement in a space will be different. How it will be? Look at here. If suppose I am telling this molecule C single bond CH3 single bond C2H5 single bond Cl single bond H. This is our one molecule. I will also write another molecule CH3 single bond C single bond C2H5. This one is our chlorine, this one is our hydrogen. So what's the difference between them? They have same molecular formula, they have same structural formula, but what is the difference? Difference is arrangement of atom. If you look at here, you can see that this structure is a mirror image of this one. So their arrangement in a space, and they cannot be superimposed on one another. So what I mean to tell you is their arrangement in a space is different. We'll go forward how their arrangement will be different in a space. Look at the example. Suppose this carbon is having a tetrahedral geometry. So how can I write here? Suppose this one is coming towards the U, towards the V1. Okay, and this hydrogen is going away from you. This hydrogen is going away from you. Now what will be in its mirror image? In its mirror image, what difference you will notice? You will notice that you will get this chlorine will be as it is here, and this hydrogen. Now I will show you with the pens. Look at this one is our CH3. Okay, sidewise you can also see. This one our C2H5. This one green one coming towards you, it is chlorine, and going away from you, this one black one, it is a hydrogen. So if I am showing you this tetrahedral geometry of carbon, look at here, this molecule is showing us tetrahedral geometry. Okay, this one is first molecule. What will be its mirror image? Its mirror image will be like this. This will come here. Okay, this pen will be here. Now what remains? These two will be here. So this is different arrangement of atom in a space. This phenomena is called stereoisomerism. So what is stereoisomerism? The arrangement of atom around this carbon is different in a space. This chlorine and this hydrogen is having different arrangement in a space. And I can also tell you with another, if you are getting some difficulty in this 3D geometry, another, look at here. This one is our carbon. It has CH3 here. Okay. It has C2H5 at the bottom. It has chlorine here. It has hydrogen here. Okay. So this chlorine is towards right side and this hydrogen is toward left side. Okay. What will be its what will be structure in its mirror image? I will write, put mirror here. So what I will get? Chlorine will be reflect here. This chlorine, here is our carbon. Hydrogen will come here. Above to that CH3, below C2H5. So mirror image of this compound is this one, but they are not superimposed to one another. And what it says, if they are not superimposing on one another, it means that their arrangement in a space is different. So this phenomena is called stereoisomerism. Compounds having same molecular formula, having same structural formula, but the arrangement of atom in a space is different. So this is called stereoisomerism. This stereoisomerism is further classified into two groups. What are they? One of them is geometrical isomerism. Geometrical isomerism. Geometrical isomerism. And the second one is optical isomerism. Optical isomerism. Now this is the real hero of our topic, as I have written optical isomerism in glucose, and we are going to see optical isomerism. That's why I have choose from isomerism, then I have came on stereoisomerism, then I came on optical isomerism. So what is optical isomerism? The compounds having a property to rotate PPL. What is this PPL? Plane polarized light. The compound which can rotate plane polarized light are called optical isomer, and this phenomena is called optical isomerism. So if suppose I have one compound and it can rotate a plane polarized light in a clockwise direction, and I have another compound, if it is rotating it in a anti-clockwise, so one is in a clockwise, one is in a anti-clockwise direction, but they are optical isomers of each other. One is rotating in a clockwise, one is rotating in a anti-clockwise direction. So this phenomena is called optical isomerism, and these two molecules will be called as optical isomers of each other. So this is optical isomerism. So the compound which rotate plane polarized light in a clockwise direction, they are called as dextrorotatory, or they are represented with a small d. And which rotate in anti-clockwise direction, they are known as levorotatory, and they are represented with the small l or with the minus sign. With the minus sign. So I have came from isomerism. What is isomerism? Same molecular formula. Two or more compounds having same molecular. Then we have moved toward stereoisomerism. What is stereoisomerism? Two compounds. Let's say two compounds. For sake of understanding, I am telling you two compounds. This one and this. And these two compounds having arrangement of having same molecular formula, same structural formula, but what's the difference? The difference is arrangement of atom in a space. Their arrangement is some quite different. That's why we are calling them as a stereoisomerism. In that, if they are rotating a plane polarized light, they are called as optical isomers, and this phenomena is called optical isomerism. And if they are rotating in a clockwise, they are known as dextro or small d, and if they are rotating in a anti-clockwise, they are saying as a levo-rotating and representing with the minus sign or small n. So this was the optical isomerism related with your topic. Now we'll move towards how to draw a molecule in a 3D, in three dimension. First we'll see how to draw a molecule in 3 dimension. Because we are learning stereochemistry, stereoisomerism. What does it mean? Stereoisomerism means having same molecular formula, but same structural formula, but different arrangement of atom in a space. So from stereoisomerism, we have came on optical isomerism. So optical isomerism is a type of stereoisomerism. So to know stereoisomerism, to know spatial arrangement, we should know its 3D structure, the structure of atom in 3 dimension. So suppose I have this molecule CH3 single bond CH single bond Cl single bond C2H5. What's the name of this compound? It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 carbon, means butane, butane. I will replace E, butane. Okay, it is butane. 4 carbon butane. At 2 position, it has chlorine group. So 2 chlorobutane, 2 chlorobutane. Its name is 2 chlorobutane. So we'll draw this structure in 3 dimensions. So how it will look? Look at this. This carbon is having 4 different atoms attached to it. Look at this. I will write this one H here. Okay. At this side it has hydrogen. At this side it has chlorine. At this side it has ethyl group. At this side it has methyl group. So 4 different atoms are attached to this carbon. This carbon will be known as chiral carbon. Chiral carbon. Chiral carbon. So what will be our chiral carbon is, if a compound, if a carbon atom having a 4 different atoms or group of atom different attached to it are called chiral carbon. So what is chiral carbon? This carbon is having 4 different groups or atoms attached. They are different. 4 different group of atom or atoms attached to the carbon are called chiral carbon. So we'll move how to draw this chiral carbon in 3 dimensional. Look at this. This is our chiral carbon. Carbon. At this side it has CH3 group. At this side I will draw C2H5, our ethyl group. With this wedge shape, this bold line, it is called wedge shape, chlorine, and this dashed line, hydrogen. So these 2 single line, it seems that they are in the plane, and this wedge shape bold line, it means that this chlorine is coming out of the board towards the viewer, and this hydrogen is back of the board. That's why it is written with the dashed line. How it will look? Let me show you with these pens. This green, it is chlorine coming towards you. This blue is hydrogen going away from you, going towards the board. Okay, this one is our methyl, black one. Okay, and this one is our ethyl group. I am attaching it here. So can you see? This one is our methyl. This one is our ethyl. This green color pen is coming towards you. It is our chlorine, and this blue color pen is going away from the board, back of the board. It means that it is below, back of the board. It is written with the dashed line. So this is our ethyl group, this is our methyl group, this is our chlorine, and this is our hydrogen. So in this way we can write our 3D structure of molecule. So this is our tetrahedral carbon. Now I have to draw its mirror image. So what will be its mirror image? I have to draw its mirror image. So what will be its mirror image? I will keep mirror here. Okay. This one is our chiral carbon. This is methyl. This one is our ethyl. C2H5 CH3. Okay. This one is our chlorine. Okay. And this one is our hydrogen. So these are the mirror image of two compounds. One compound is having its mirror image here. Okay. Now if you notice, if I took this carbon, this molecule, and I have imposed it on this, so will it be superimposable? It's like my two hands. Look at this. These two are mirror images of each other, and if I impose them one another, they will not be superimposed. So is they are same? No, they are different, because their arrangement of atom, their arrangement of my thumb is different in a space. It is having towards right side, it is having towards left side. So is this mean by the stereochemistry? The arrangement of atom in a space is different. That's why they are not superimposing on one another. So suppose this chiral carbon, its mirror image is not superimposable on it, so it is called enantiomer. Enantiomers. So I got the formula: number of stereoisomers based on chiral carbon. 2 raised to n is the formula. From where we got this formula? From this such compounds. Look at this. It is having one chiral carbon. So 2-chlorobutane, it has one chiral carbon. So this one chiral carbon, it is giving us 2 enantiomers, 2 stereoisomers, 2 optical isomers. So to calculate optical isomers or to calculate stereoisomers, we can give a formula 2 raised to n. And here n is number of chiral carbon. 2 raised to 1 means it has one chiral carbon, and number will be 2. Means compound, if a compound is having one chiral carbon, it will give us 2 isomers, 2 optical isomers. Now one special property of this chiral carbon. What is the special property of this chiral carbon? It can rotate our plane polarized light either in a clockwise or either in an anti-clockwise direction. If suppose this image is rotating in a clockwise direction, its mirror image will rotate it in an anti-clockwise direction. So if it is rotating in a clockwise, it will be called as dextrorotatory. If it is rotating it in anti-clockwise, then it will be known as levorotatory. Now the next point. I know you people are getting difficulties in drawing this 3D structure. So to draw this 3D structure in a plane is different, is difficult. So another scientist, his name is Emil Fischer. What's the name of the scientist? His name is Emil Fischer. Emil Fischer. Emil Fischer. This person have solved your problem. What was our problem? Our problem is to draw this 3D structure in our notebook. It's difficult. So this person, he has given a new method to draw this 3D structure in cross formula. What is this cross formula? I will tell you. The cross formula will be like this. Just this plus sign. Just plus sign. For this, he got Nobel Prize. He's a Nobel laureate. In 1902, he got Nobel Prize on presenting this formula, this 3D structure in a plane. He got the Nobel Prize. Now, there are certain rules to draw this structure. What are the rules? First, what it shows. Let me tell you what it shows. Suppose this two wedge shape. First look at here, this two wedge shape. Now again I will show you with the pens. This one is my first group, this one is second. Both are in the plane. This is coming out of the plane and this is going in the plane. Okay. Now you can see all four. These four. Now what Fischer has done, Fischer has just changed this like this. Now if you notice, these two are coming towards you and these two are coming towards me. Just tetrahedral geometry, he changed it in this direction. Two coming towards the viewer and two going away from the viewers. So what is the Fischer formula says? The Fischer formula says this two wedge shape means these two groups or two items coming towards the viewer, and this two dash line says the two groups are going away from the viewer. So to draw this structure, what I will do, I will make C2H5 and this one CH3. Both are going away from the viewer. Just change this from this side. Again I will show you with the pen. Look at this. This one is my methyl group. This one is hydrogen. This is chlorine. And this one ethyl group. Can you see this? Okay. I am changing this like this. These two are coming towards you. These two coming towards you. And these two, one above and this below, they are going away from the viewer. Same thing has said in the Fischer formula. What it says, I have just changed it like this, just turn it. What I will get, chlorine will be here, hydrogen will be here. Same, just turn this in 90 degree. Just changing it like this, we are getting Fischer formula. Now it is also difficult. Then he gave another one. What is that one? Just to draw a plus sign. And with this plus sign, we can write CH3, C2H5. This one is our chlorine and this one is our hydrogen. And this is chiral carbon represented with this, with this position. At this position we have our chiral carbon. This one is our methyl. Ethyl, chlorine and hydrogen. So this simple formula is given by the Fisher, and to present this 3D structure into 2D plane in our paper, in the plane of the paper, Fisher got Nobel Prize. Just to make simple this structure, he got the Nobel Prize on representing this structure. Okay, now you got the idea of chiral carbon, you got the idea of presenting in a 3D structure, you also got the idea to present this 3D structure in a 2D. Now we'll move towards our actual point. What is our actual point is, our actual point is optical isomerism in glucose. So what is the need of optical isomerism? Compound must have chiral carbon. Compound must have chiral carbon. So whether glucose is having a chiral carbon or not? Let's check. Structure of glucose is CHO, OH, OH, H, OH, H, OH, H, H, CH2OH. I have drawn this structure in a several times in our previous discussion, but I have not said who gave this structure. The actual structure of this glucose is in a 3 dimension. This chiral carbon is having different arrangement in a space, so it can be represented in a 3 dimension. But Fisher has given us this simple formula. Just draw it like in a vertical and horizontal lines and keep your items there. These two lines will show you these two are coming towards you, and this above one and below one means they are going away from you. I can draw just one or two structure like this. This dash line CHO. Okay. Again this our carbon. Again this dash line. OH. This one is H. Now what will be the next? Next will be again then carbon. Again with the dash line. Second carbon. What it has? It has hydrogen here. It has OH here. So if you go on driving these structures, it will be a very difficult for us. To make it simple, Fisher has given us a new structure, a new formula, a cross formula, just to draw a molecule in this Fisher form in a plane of the paper. So we got the idea of drawing this 3D structure in a 2D plane or in the plane of the paper. So this glucose molecule, how many chiral carbon it has? It has 1, 2, this one is 3 and this one is 4. I am representing this chiral carbon with asterisk mark. Okay, this has 4, and I have already told you that if a compound possesses one chiral carbon, how many stereoisomer it will show? It will show 2 isomer, and this one is our glucose. It has 4 chiral carbon, so I will add 2 raised to 4. Now what will be the structure? 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, 4 times. 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8, 8 2s are 16. We got the 16 structure. So in general, if suppose I don't know its name, so what I will name it? I will name it in the IUPAC, aldo hexose, because it has aldehyde group, that's why it is aldo. It has 6 carbon, that's why it is hexo, and it is a monosaccharide, that's why I have written OIC, aldohexose. Okay. Now aldohexose has 4 chiral carbon. So how many stereoisomerism will it have? It has 16. So if you go on rearranging this HOH towards right or towards left, we'll get 16 stereoisomers. So one of that 16, we have this glucose molecule. Again, it has chiral carbon. Now, if it is chiral, it will also have a property to rotate plane polarized light. Means it is optically active. The compound which can rotate plane polarized light either in a clockwise or anti-clockwise, it is called optically active compound, or it is a optical isomer. So we'll move towards this our property of chiral carbon. So chiral carbon is having a property to rotate plane polarized light. Means this glucose is optically active. First, it is optically active. Optically active. Next, if it is optically active, definitely it is a it will show optical isomerism. Means if you draw its mirror image, what I will get? Its mirror image will be like this: CHO 1, 2, 3, 4. It has OH here, OH, H, OH. Now H, OH, H, H, CH2OH. CH2OH. So this glucose molecule, it has its mirror image with it. So these two mirror images of the molecule will be called as optical isomers, and this phenomena is called optical isomerism. So glucose molecule, it has 4 chiral carbon, so definitely it will show optical isomerism. What is optical isomerism? The property of molecule to rotate plane polarized light. So I will name it as this our glucose molecule. This our glucose molecule is having a property to rotate a plane polarized light in a clockwise direction. It can rotate a plane polarized light in a clockwise direction. That's why it is called dextro. Dextro rotatory. It can be represented either with the D sign or with the plus sign. D glucose. D glucose. This is our structure. D glucose. Suppose I have one other group with me, glyceraldehyde. Glyceraldehyde. CHO, OH, H, CH2, OH. This one molecule, its mirror image. I will draw it here. Draw it here. This one, H, OH, CH2, OH. Now look at this. This is our glyceraldehyde. Okay. Now this first molecule, it can rotate plane polarized light in a clockwise direction. So it is Dr plus glyceraldehyde. And this its mirror image, it has a property to rotate plane polarized light in an anti-clockwise direction. So it can be represented with the small l or with the minus sign. So this is the property of molecule, the property of glyceraldehyde to rotate a plane polarized light either in a clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. So this glyceraldehyde is showing a optical isomerism because this glyceraldehyde and its mirror image have two different properties. It can rotate in a clockwise or it can rotate in an anti-clockwise direction to a plane polarized light. So what I want to tell you is that this glucose molecule, this glyceraldehyde and its mirror image, they both are glyceraldehyde, but they have chiral carbon. So this chiral carbon, it is having a different arrangement of atom in a space. As you can see, it has OH group towards right side and this mirror image is having towards left side. So what different is there? The difference is a arrangement of two atoms in a space is different. OH group, OH and hydrogen. It has different arrangement. It has different arrangement. So just arrangement of atom in a space is different. That's why they are showing two different properties: dextrosity and durability. The same thing we'll get in a glucose molecule. It can rotate a plane polarized light in a clockwise direction, so it is named as a dextrorotatory, and it has a rotation of specific rotation 20D is equal to plus 52.70. This much rotation it has, means it can rotate our plane polarized light in a 52 degree towards clockwise in 52 degree. So it has 52 optical rotation, is specific rotation. And what is this plus sign? It can rotate in a clockwise direction, that's why it is plus. Now go towards or more basic. What is this? Our graph. Okay, in our graph we can write here plus plus and at this position minus minus. So if it is rotating clockwise, it will definitely have plus, and if it is rotating anti-clockwise, it will definitely have minus sign, as this one is having minus sign. So this was the basic idea related with the optical isomerism, and we also know the structure of glucose in optical isomerism, and this structure is given by a Fischer, and it has 4 chiral carbon, and due to 4 chiral carbon it can show optical isomerism. And you know very well what is optical isomerism. The optical isomerism means a property of molecule having a chiral carbon and which can rotate a plane polarized light either in a clockwise direction or either in an anti-clockwise direction. So in my next class I will tell you how to give the name to this our monosaccharides, D or L configuration. I will teach you in the next video because this time is beyond limit. So thank you coming on Amjad Academy. Keep watching our video. We'll also doing work for mathematics. You will also get a new teacher for mathematics. Keep watching our Supremos lecture. Dr. Amjad Afsar is taking physics lectures on our academy. So keep watching, keep supporting, do like and do subscribe to our channel. Thank you for coming on Amjad.